Good morning, students. Hope you all are healthy and happy. Now, the topic we are going to study today is the past adjustments, which is the adjustments in closed accounts. Now, this is a very important topic of the chapter Fundamentals of Partnership of Class 12 Accountancy. And let's study this. Okay, adjustments in closed accounts. Sometimes a few omissions or errors in the recording of transactions or the preparation of summary statements are found after the final accounts have been prepared and the profits duly distributed amongst the partners. Now, this omission may be in respect of different things such as interest on capitals, interest on drawings, interest on partner's loan, partner's salary, partner's commission, or even outstanding expenses. Let's take an example for this. A and B are partners in a firm. Now, after closing the accounts, which means after the preparation of trading, profit and loss account, as well as the balance sheet, it has come to their notice that they forgot to charge interest on capital at 10% per annum. Now, what option do they have? Will they make the change into the accounts? Like, will they put a cross into the trading P&L or the balance sheet? No. In accountancy, the option that we have is through a rectifying journal entry. So, that should be calculated and the effect will be brought into. Similarly, there may also be some changes in the provisions of partnership deed or the system of accounting having impact with retrospective effect. We'll take this through an example. Let's take again ABC are partners in a firm who have been sharing profits in the ratio of 3:2:1. Now with consensus they decide that from in future their profit sharing ratio should be 1:1:1 which is equal. But this effect should not only in the future, but they also want to bring up the effect for the past 3 years. Now again in this case, all the accounts have already been closed for this year as well as for the past years. So for this, we will make a rectifying journal entry and accordingly correct the accounting statements. Okay, all these acts of omission and commission need adjustments for correction of their impact, which we are going to study in this topic now. Now, instead of altering the old accounts, the necessary adjustments can be made in two particular ways. Number one, through profit and loss adjustment account, and number two, directly into the capital accounts of the concerned partners. From the examination point of view, mostly we come across the second one, which is directly in the capital accounts of the concerned partners. My dear students, I would also like to mention over here that this is one of the most expected topics that you get in the examination. Almost every year in the board examination, we get one question of maybe 1 mark or maybe 4 marks from this particular chapter. So from the examination point of view also, you simply cannot afford to miss this topic. But if you understand the concept, again, accountancy is a very interesting subject if you understand. Okay, so since accountancy is all about examples, we'll discuss the first case as well as the second one through a good example. Take the case number 1, which is through profit and loss adjustment account. Now read the question carefully. Meet and Prakash are equal partners with capitals of rupees 1 lakh and rupees 50,000 respectively as on 1st April 2019. Pay attention on the dates as well. Now, after closing the accounts for the year ended 31st March 2020, it was discovered that interest on capital at 6% per annum has not been provided before the distribution of profits. Pass necessary adjustment entry through profit and loss adjustment account. Read the question? Now, we look at the important things in this. Number 1 is capitals that's been given to you is the opening capital. Okay, and now after closing the accounts as on 31st March 2020, it came to their notice that they forgot to charge interest on capital at 6% per annum. Now, we will come to the solution part. Now here you can see the interest on capital is what? 6% per annum. Now students, one thing that you need to pay attention over here is interest on capital is always calculated on the opening capitals. I am repeating again, interest on capital is always calculated on the opening capitals. If in this question by chance they would have given the closing capital, then you will have to make a calculation, make the necessary adjustment, bring out the opening capital, and on that you would have to calculate the interest on capital. If the same question the examiner wants to make it a little tricky or increase the difficulty level, then in that cases the examiner might give you this particular case where it will give you the closing capital, it might give you the profits, it might give you the drawings. And then the change that you need to bring up is you will have to calculate the opening capital, and on that basis you will calculate the interest on capital. In this question we have taken a direct example. So we have direct calculation. Now the capital of Meet was rupees 1 lakh. Interest on capital is at the rate of 6%. Now for 1 year, that is for this session 2019-20, 6% of rupees 1 lakh, which is rupees 6,000. Again for Prakash, the capital was rupees 50,000 and at 6% per annum it comes out as rupees 3,000. Now understand this carefully. 6,000 was to be paid to Meet, 3,000 was to be charged from, 6,000 was to be charged from Meet, as well as 3,000 was to be charged from Prakash, a total of 9,000. Now when interest on capital is being charged from both the partners, okay, now interest on capital is being provided at 6% per annum, and now this is rupees 9,000. Now understand, when you provide interest on capital, that reduces the profits of the firm by rupees 9,000. Now this amount should have been credited to the partner's capital account. Instead, it was not being credited. Now, had this interest on capital been duly provided, the firm's profit would have reduced by a total of rupees 9,000. But by this omission, the whole amount of profit as per the profit and loss account has been distributed among the partners in their PSR. And now the amount of interest on capital have not been credited to their capital accounts. Now, to bring up the retrospective effects, now this profit which gets reduced by rupees 9,000 will be debited to the partner's capital account in their profit sharing ratio. Now for this, you need to pay attention that we will pass necessary journal entry for the above. See, partner's capital account should have been credited by their interest on capitals, which is to Meet's capital account rupees 6,000 and to Prakash's capital account rupees 3,000. For this is being charged from P&L adjustment account, so that has been debited. Now this 9,000 has reduced the profits of the firm. Profits are credited but losses are debited. Now the extra profit that has already been credited to the partners shall be reduced by debiting their partner's capital account, which is rupees 4,500 each for Meet as well as Prakash, since the PSR is equal. Okay, just understand this again. The whole thing is that interest on capital was to be credited to the partner's capital account, which we have credited through the journal entry, P&L adjustment account debit, to Meet's capital account rupees 6,000, to Prakash's capital account rupees 3,000. Now after crediting this particular amount of rupees 9,000, the effect is that the profits are reduced by rupees 9,000. Now this reduction profits has to be shown by debiting the partner's capital account, which is Meet's capital account debited with 4,500, Prakash's capital account debited with rupees 4,500, to profit loss adjustment account rupees 9,000. Understood? Now, moving to the second case. Now for better understanding, here we have taken the same question and we will show you how the second method we show through the adjustment table as well as the journal entry. Now in this case, this is by directly in the capital accounts of the concerned partners. We'll go through the question again. Meet and Prakash are equal partners with capitals of rupees 1 lakh and 50,000 respectively. Now after closing the accounts, again it was discovered that interest on capital at 6% per annum has not been provided before the distribution of profits. Now pass a single adjustment entry to give effect to the above. Now in this case, students always remember, like when this question comes as a 4 marks question, 2 marks are for the adjustment table and 2 marks are for the journal entry. So do not forget that you have to prepare adjustment table as well in this particular case. Now, while preparing the adjustment table, it's been shown clearly that Meet and Prakash were to be credited with rupees 6,000 and 3,000. Look at this, the amounts to be credited, which is the interest on capital in this case. Meet had to be credited by rupees 6,000. Prakash was to be credited by rupees 3,000, a total of rupees 9,000. Now this total interest on capital which was to be credited, due to which the profit has simultaneously reduced. Now this reduced profit shall be debited in the partners capital account in their profit sharing ratio, which is 1:1. ये देखो सीधा सा हिसाब है कि पार्टनर्स को जो दिया जाना चाहिए था और नहीं दिया वो अब आप उनको दे देंगे और उनके अकाउंट्स को क्रेडिट कर देंगे, पर जो गलत दे दिया था उसको ठीक करने के लिए हम उनके अकाउंट्स को उतने अमाउंट से डेबिट कर देंगे. In accountancy, we usually follow the simple rule, which is if the account has been credited in excess. अगर आपने कभी किसी अकाउंट को एक्सेस में क्रेडिट कर दिया है तो ठीक करने के लिए क्या करते हैं, वी डेबिट दैट पर्टिकुलर अमाउंट. एंड अगर आपने उसे कम क्रेडिट किया है तो दोबारा से उसे क्रेडिट कर देते हैं, सो दैट द डेबिट इज इक्वल टू क्रेडिट. हमारा कॉन्सेप्ट भी आपका जस्टिफाई हो जाता है एंड आपकी काउंटिंग एंट्रीज भी करेक्ट हो जाती है. सेम थिंग हमें यहाँ पे देखना है. नाउ लुक एट दिस केयरफुली. इन केस ऑफ मीट इट वाज टू बी क्रेडिटेड बाय रुपीज 6,000, जो हमने नहीं किया था, but we had already distributed the profit to him. Now to correct that, his account will now be debited with rupees 4,500. Similarly for Prakash, his account has to be credited with rupees 3,000 and debited with rupees 4,500. Now here we have to pass a single adjustment entry. For that, now see to this carefully, that Meet was to be credited by 6,000 and debited by 4,500. तो अगर हम उसको खाली 1,500 से ही क्रेडिट कर देंगे, the problem is solved. Similarly for Prakash, हमें उसे 3,000 से क्रेडिट करना है, 4,500 से डेबिट करना है, तो हम क्या करेंगे, 1,500 से डेबिट कर देंगे, right? There's another thing that you need to remember, that debit is always equal to credit even in this case. See, Prakash will be debited with rupees 1,500 and Meet will be credited with rupees 1,500. That would again complete your journal entry. You can also see, students, there's another column of total which is rupees 9,000. Okay, now this is also to cross check a question that you're not making any particular mistake. The amount from which we were supposed to credit the accounts of the partners with the same amount, they are being debited to justify the excess share of profit that has already been distributed to them. Okay, now moving further, this is the journal entry that will be passed. Prakash's capital account will be debited by rupees 1,500 and Meet's capital account will be credited by rupees 1,500. Debit will be equal to credit and that will correct our particular statement. Do not forget the narration as well, which is the adjustment for omission of interest on capital. Now students, this was one case that I have taught you, which you have understood quite well, but there can be different kinds of question in this particular topic as well. The theme would be the same, the basic line of concept is the same, the only variation could be like we took an example where it was just interest on capital. There could be another example where the firm missed out the interest on capital, omitted the interest on drawings, as well as the salary of the partner. Whatever be the case, simple सी चीज जो आपको ध्यान रखनी है वो ये, that whatever amounts have to be credited or whatever amounts have to be debited, they should be done appropriately. Calculate the effect on the profit because of those particular omitted items. Make up the entry, compare the credit amounts and debit amounts, and finally you have your journal entry. Okay, hope you would have understood this particular topic, but it does not end over here, because unless you do not practice the questions, you cannot be very sure of things. Okay, if you have understood the topic well, it's equally important to practice similar questions. Once you have practiced the questions, you'll gain confidence in the topic and you'll be able to score much better in your examinations as well. Thank you, students. If you have any queries or feedback, you can mail me at krishna.tk@yahoo.com, or you can visit my YouTube channel and put on your comments over there. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. Thank you.